Alrighty, folks, welcome to another episode of the Marked for Life Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jeff Bailey.
And I'm Jerry Jones. What is up?
Oh my God, what a Dynamite after an amazing revolution, my friend. Just amazing stuff. But before we get started, out there, go ahead and trigger the old subscribe button. Drop the elbow on the likes and leave us a comment. Tell us something.
Holler at us, man. You know,
say what's up. The old Twitter thing. Leave messages, comments, whatever. But we start off this Dynamite with a little Jericho in the ring. And wow. Jericho's a little heartfelt. And, after the loss to Eddie Kingston at the pay-per-view, couldn't shake his hand.
Yeah.
So he says, oh my God, this was an amazing match. Sorry. I was angry. I should have shaken your hand. Come out here and let me shake your hand.
Yeah.
And Eddie comes out and firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And I thought this is actually some Dynamite stuff from him. This is good stuff, man. And
it was very deep. And
I think it went over the old Fort Myers crowd, I think.
Well, I honestly, I got to tell you, I hate to start off negative. I'm not a negative person, right? No. Fort Myers, you were terrible, okay? you were off all night. You're terrible.
Jerry's burying you.
I mean, Jericho, say what you will about, Judas Effect, what you like it, don't like it. When he comes out, man, it's a thing. It's a big thing. And Fort Myers was kind of like, who's this guy? Is this guy new? I mean, it was I'm like, did they think they were at like a tennis match or what? I mean, what was going on?
I have no idea.
But when they didn't pop for Jericho, I was like, uh-oh. I'm like, maybe they just don't like Jericho. But, Eddie's out there and he's pouring his heart out. And I'm glad he did it. He's kind of like, hey, dude, come on. Like, enough of the,
Stone Cold ain't here, bro.
Yeah. And Eddie, it hit me. Like, it got to me. It
AEW
really did, man.
Pulling some heartstrings hard tonight.
Yes. Oh, yes,
they are pulling deep at the heartstrings of wrestling fans around the world, my friend.
You know what?
This is stuff you want. This is why we like this.
Yes,
because I want some badass deep cuts. I want some feels.
And this is precisely what he captured tonight was why we love Eddie so much.
Right,
like. He is truly like his whole everything is in it. There's not a reserve that he holds back for himself. He is putting his entire everything into this.
I agree.
And it's real, and I love him for it, man.
You are at your, they say that character in wrestling, if you're going beyond even the supernatural, I guess, those type of things, those type of characters that are beyond, even if it's whatever, they're always at their best when they are just a maximum, magnification of your own character and who you are, kind of yourself.
Yeah.
And, and that's why, I think that this, Eddie Kingston thing is getting over because we get this heartfelt.
Yeah.
We get that that we are sometimes our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
We get that, sometimes our feelings get the better of us and we make terrible mistakes. But he's also, that he shows us that your will to succeed in, you can make it, you can achieve. And, I like that he said it's like, no, that handshake wasn't for me. I beat you. I earned your. I knew it. I knew I needed the win.
Right.
I didn't need the handshake. You needed the handshake.
That was pretty powerful. It really hit me. He's like, he's like, I needed the win. Like, I lost to Mox, I lost to Miro, I lost to Punk, I lost to everybody.
I need to win one of these big ones.
Yeah, and
because they say everybody says I might be a top guy.
Yeah,
I gotta win one, right?
Yeah, and I love that he's like, yeah, I didn't need it, man. That handshake was for you.
I mean, and there was some deep stuff there, man, and that was some, like I said, they really pulled the heartstrings tonight.
And I will give Jericho credit too. I believe him. Like, I mean, obviously Jericho is a Hall of Famer. He's had legendary matches, but when I think about his AEW,
some of the greatest I've personally ever seen.
Yeah,
Eddie Kingston said a few of those names.
Yeah,
one name we don't say anymore.
Yeah,
but I will say that I still think that was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. We don't talk about that guy's name, but still, that Chris versus Chris match was beyond amazing.
Yeah,
but we could
Jericho looks like a guy. Someone tweeted out tonight, and I agree. He looks 10 years younger. I can tell
rejuvenated.
He's completely rejuvenated. He is all in, and there's a part of me that's like, okay, now that Cody is gone, he's like, man, I'm really gonna have to.
Where's a heel? There's a hole here for something.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like this, Canadians plus Hager thing, whatever you want to call this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 2.0 has enough of this whole Jericho Kingston thing, and they come out and they start laying waste to everybody. They kind of toss Jericho aside, but apparently it's just a show.
Right.
Because Jericho joins in on the beatdown, and he beats down. They start to lay waste to everybody, and the Proud and Powerful get beaten, and this is just some rough stuff. So we see a new faction born. The Jericho Appreciation Society.
Do we really need Jake Hager? I just felt like the spots he had, he was sloppy. I mean,
I see. Oh, dude, I feel like they almost killed Eddie Kingston.
Yes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's going to kill Eddie. Like,
almost killed Eddie tonight.
I'm like, come on, man.
The funny thing was, I was just watching that old video of Spike Dudley almost getting killed.
Yeah.
In the same spot where the who are the guys, the Canadian dudes, almost they missed the table and just flat out just put him straight down on the floor.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
But I hope they come up with a better name than the Jericho Appreciation Society.
I don't know. That might be
Jazz. But the heel turn's complete. Jericho.
I mean, yes.
It's
like I said, man, I just want the suit back. I want the haircut and the suit back. I mean, that's full evil.
Yeah.
Full evil Jericho.
Yeah.
But then we go to the back and they have a little remembrance of this Punk post-Revolution promo. What do you think of this, Jerry?
I mean, they just felt like let's sprinkle in a little bit of Punk. I think it's a kind of a save it for later kind of thing, like where it's like, yeah, you guys were asking for the old Punk. You might wish you hadn't done that. I kind of dug it. Like they didn't go too deep into it.
I thought it was good, but I want to talk a little bit about the post-Revolution interview because we've all watched that spectacular dog collar match. That was, I think, a once in a lifetime type match. Mm-hmm. It was, I mean, spectacular. This MJF feud has been once in a lifetime, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that we got the Miseria Cantate, like that, the full Punk Ring of Honor Punk entrance.
Mm-hmm.
It was some amazing stuff, and he was clearly very emotional after the when he did the post thing, and he's like, I'm trying to hold it together. And somebody asked him about Harley Race and about his Harley Race time, and he always talks about like he took him out on the boat and he would just hand him beers constantly. But he kind of broke down, and he's like, Harley Race is like, he's like, I don't want to break, break kayfabe too much or anything like that. But he's like, Harley Race is the man that taught me how to make a blade. And he was like on the verge of tears this whole time. And some people think that's like, this is giving wrestling away. And I highly disagree. I think this is the stuff that makes us love wrestling even more.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like our heartstrings got pulled a lot tonight for deep cut stuff. And this is why I think why we like it so much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, to me, like, it's behind the music. Like, you see the bands you love, and then they start, talking to you about, what they were going through when they were recording an album,
right?
They were writing, and it's like, it doesn't make you go, oh, well, I don't want to listen to that band anymore. It's like, oh my gosh, like you connect.
Sometimes you find out amazing things about music. It's like I love that you find amazing things about music that you never thought of.
Yeah,
and you find out that the artist's perception of the song is like, guess what? It's actually 180 degrees of what pop culture thinks it's about. Right. It's actually about this. That stuff is like awesome. That is like some of the coolest stuff there is.
I mean, but as you were talking about, like, punk kind of, going back and talking about Harley, you just think about the generations, like that Harley Race. And for some of our younger, like handsome Harley Race from Kansas City, by the way, one of the greatest performers in the history of all of wrestling, right? That spanned maybe 5 different decades of wrestling he was a part of. Just a legend. And to see Punk now ushering in and putting young guys, like, it's just to kind of see the continuity, like, and that's why stories like that are so important as wrestling fans, that we understand that we are a part of a long line of fans, and that we're, it will continue on after us, right? And that we can appreciate the moment of wrestling that we're in, but also to respect that there have been previous golden ages of professional wrestling before us, and there will be plenty after us too.
I agree.
And it really helps me appreciate the moment that we're in right now.
I agree.
Even more so.
I feel like this was, I think, I thought that match is one of those torch handing type matches. I mean, this is, I think, we first, the CM Punk kind of went through like 3 big incarnations, I guess, as like as a breakout star. He was the straight edge guy. Then there was the straight edge society guy. And then there was the pipe bomb guy, best in the world. And we had all these incarnations of him. I think we've just kind of broken through the first incarnation of MJF, of course. And we're only going to get more. And it's probably only going to get worse. I don't think the level of how low of a human being he can become, he can set the bar even lower, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And he will gladly find it.
Yes, he will. And this is like, to me, this makes me appreciate watching MJF now. Like I think we need to relish the fact that what we're seeing is a great, at the pretty much the beginning of their ascent. Like, and to be able to witness it when it's happening, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. I think you're right, Jeff. I think that match, it will definitely be it's one of those that you stick a pin in and say it's a very pivotal match. Now, I would say it's a pivotal, obviously, for MJF. I think clearly for Punk, but I think for this company, I think I think about the younger wrestling fans. I think about wrestling fans that are in their teens or in their 20s or even if they're younger, that man, that you were there for this. I should note, by the way, it seems like the most gruesome spots in Revolution were happening right in front of the youngest kids that you can find. I mean, they were like in front of 7 and 8 year olds.
No. Yeah, I mean, that is the nature of professional wrestling. I joked about, I mean, I'm pretty sure I got Abdullah the Butcher's blood all over me once.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, so, and I'm pretty sure it was Bruiser Brody punched him, and like he was already bloody.
Abdullah
Bruiser
the Butcher,
Bruiser punched him, and
as a kid, I was scared to death of Abdullah the Butcher.
Why wouldn't you be?
I mean, I was frightened. I was always
wild eyes, and
yeah, I was always afraid that we would be too close to like the rails, and that like he might, like, what if he like grabs me and tries to kill me or something? I mean.
Yeah, just good stuff. Great memories, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the old wrestling hall. It's like such a. I mean, the memories are like so barely there. I was like, I mean, like I said, 5 or 6 years old, 4 or 5 years, and I still, I remember how to smell.
Oh
like,
yeah.
when the wrestling ring and that cigarette smell and
yeah,
the waft of smoke.
Yeah.
And then the kind of had the glow of the ring. And it's like a different time, man.
It really wasn't. I loved Bruiser Brody. That dude just seemed like just a badass. He and Ric Flair, there was, I saw them wrestle each other a couple of times at Memorial Hall, but there was one match where, so there's like a little elevated stage, like they were out of the ring and they end up fighting on part of the stage, and Ric Flair suplexed Bruiser Brody on this. I'm like, it was just, it's like, oh my gosh, like, oh man, I just, like you said, great times, man. I
remember seeing, I thought, seeing Harley suplex a jabroni through the timekeeper table was like the most epic high spot I'd ever seen. And it's like now you look at Sammy doing a 630 disaster.
Sammy.
Oh
man, brother.
Let's not skip too far ahead. But we get to Mr. Hangman Page taking on the number one contender, Dante Martin, in the first match of the evening.
First of all, I was shocked when Justin's like a 60-minute time limit. I'm like, a 60-minute time limit? Whoa.
World title match.
Yeah. And man, Hangman really put Dante over in this match, I thought.
He did, I thought, but he also overpowered him quite a bit.
Yeah, he did.
Like anytime there was like even close to a test of strength, he did just completely overpower him, as he should.
Right.
And the crossbody catch that they botched, turned into wonderment.
It really did.
That roll through was so awesome. Like,
I was so impressed. In that moment, I was so impressed with Dante. I mean, clearly they had talked about this. They had said, "Hey," or maybe they did.
Might have been intentional.
Maybe they didn't. But man, that was beautiful. That was a thing of beauty. I think I agree with you. I think it was right for Hangman to overpower him. I thought it was a really good showcase for Hangman. But Dante just showing he can hang.
Every time he gets, like, there was a high spot where he had like a huge missile drop kick. It just looked like he came out of the rafters. I mean, every time he gets a chance to look really, really good, he does.
Yeah.
And, you know, it might not be his time yet, but when it does become his time, it will be amazing.
The youngest person ever to challenge for the AEW championship.
Indeed.
That says a lot. I love the spot about him. He bringing Dante back in. I thought I liked that a lot.
Right.
What do you think of Adam Cole?
That huge power bomb was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the finish was interesting too.
Yeah.
And how he ended up running into the buckshot and just sold the living bejesus out of it. Oh man, he gets turned inside out so beautifully, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does.
So great. It's a thing of beauty. Then we get Adam Cole coming out and whining about losing.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, he gave Hangman everything he had.
Yeah.
That match was incredible. I thought it was really, really good. The only mistake was his outfit that he wore on the way down to the ring. That weird Halo outfit.
Yeah. That was bad.
But, you know, he comes out and whines, and then he's like, I'm going to have a 6-man, and I'm going to have a team of young men. So, yeah.
So, and then, it'll be interesting to see. In that moment, I thought, oh, is Hangman is he gonna have Dante and his brother?
We'll find out here in a little bit, of course.
Yeah.
So Mox and Danielson. This is just incredible.
Yeah.
William Regal comes out with Danielson. Mox, of course, still choosing to take the crowd entrance.
Yeah.
Against the workhorses, and they just lay a whooping on these poor guys.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful. It was, just watching them work.
Mox gives the one guy the paradigm shift on the outside, and Danielson gives JD the Psycho knee and the lapel lock for the win. And then Regal comes in and just gives us
more from the heart.
Solid gold pulling at the heartstrings. I had tears in my eyes.
When he's like, he is the wrestler I was supposed to be, or that I could have been.
Could have been.
Wow.
If I didn't have my own issues. If I didn't get my own way. Like I did in WCW. I got my own way.
It got to me when he was getting emotional about Tony Schiavone.
Helping you.
I guess I never really thought about or realized just the nature of their friendship and relationship.
I mean, this is I don't know if you know this or not. Mox is a huge reason Danielson came to AEW. Big time, big real life friends.
Yeah.
And you know, it was like, you know, he felt him out big time about like when he was going to come here.
Yeah.
And, you know, so of course, and then now, of course, I think Regal was like, it was clear I had massive relationships with both of these guys. So it's clearly like he wanted to come join them.
Yeah.
And man, what a promo.
Yeah.
And then he says basically, look, step up
or get stepped on. Yeah.
We're coming.
Yeah. I just have to get over. I was so frustrated with this crowd because I'm like, you guys don't realize how big of a freaking deal this is. Like, it's like, do you guys know how
crowd was?
I mean, you guys, it's like, do you know how big of a deal this is right now? What we're seeing?
It's WWE crowd, I think. They thought they were going to see WWE.
Yeah, I think they did too. Tony has marked them off the list. I would be surprised if we saw them.
They'll never get another show again.
No,
I don't think.
that
was a dead crowd.
I mean, but
they did get a little perked up in the high spots in any of the matches, but that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't get up for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been they were all worn out from
I
Revolution, but I
mean,
don't think so.
yeah, I don't think
Days
so.
ago.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. So I feel like as a fan, I've gotten so spoiled by I think by and large, I feel like AEW fans are more likely to be deep cut wrestling fans.
Yes.
More appreciative of the work that's happening in the ring.
Big time.
Have more understanding of the significance of certain moments. They're able to anticipate things that are getting ready to happen,
right,
and respond accordingly, because also they recognize this is a televised event and that fans are a part of the experience.
Huge part.
So, but yeah, but for me, that moment of Regal on the mic, and watching Danielson listening to Regal saying these things, like, I feel like he's like trying to hold his composure together.
This is good stuff. I mean,
it was just,
and Moxley always gets away with like just looking like a psycho. So who knows what he's really thinking?
Well, I think that's his way of also like holding his shit.
I mean, yeah.
All four of those guys, including Tony, I think were doing all they could. Like, man, I just need to hold my shit together. While, and then of course Regal, like as he's talking, but I love the way he ended it, man. He ended it strong. Step up or get stepped on. I can't wait to see like what happens if they form some sort of clique.
Well, I mean, I just love just the fact that he's like, look, there's a couple of things I know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to take a guy and tell him the ins and outs and save him a lot of pain and misery.
Yeah.
And then I can take him into the ring and I can make him one of the best professional wrestlers there is.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to do it.
Yeah.
And he basically said, this is an example of perfection. This is what's achievable if you put yourself to it.
And you know what, Jeff? I'm glad you mentioned that, and I hadn't even thought of it until you just said it just now. What he did, and I think in many respects, was quite subversive. And what I mean by that, he was recruiting.
Yeah.
He's not just, because he wasn't just talking to the guys in the back. He was talking to every single professional wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to work hard, I help make this guy standing to my left the best wrestler in the world. If you want to work as hard as Brian worked, I can make you into that.
Mm-hmm.
I am here in AEW. If you want that, there's only one place you can come to get that. I think if I'm a wrestler in the back, if I'm a wrestler in another promotion, I'm thinking, okay, when I get my opportunity, when I get that phone call from Regal or I get a phone call from Tony Khan, I got to listen because I think I can be the best.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you look at the juxtaposition of, then you have Moxley, who's just the other side of the coin, the ultimate sadist, who will, who will do anything to win a match, who will do anything for a crowd.
Yes.
And who just loves to wrestle. I mean, and has literally been in matches where people died for a few minutes. So
yeah.
think about that.
I mean, and also I think about Mox and like hearing Regal talk about his struggles. I'm like, I feel like he looks at Mox and he's like, I was you. Like, and now Mox has gotten his act together. Like, imagine
he stepped on it pretty fast.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. His book is fantastic. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Definitely enjoyed himself quite a bit.
Yeah.
He definitely enjoyed himself in more ways than one before he met Renee. And but now he's definitely he's crushing the whole, trying to be a dad and be the best he can be.
Yeah.
God forbid anybody getting in this guy's way.
Oh man. The future is going to be so bright for this company, and you've been calling for Regal to come to AEW for quite some time, and now
there's
he's
just so much he can do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not only in the fact of just how you develop people, how you get them better. He's so good at that. And then it's also the fact that he can book insanely really good matches. And then he can be a fantastic on-screen person for you.
Yeah.
As either a manager or an authority figure. Yeah. I really, really think that AEW needs an on-screen authority figure. I think it just kind of lends credibility that it is a sporting operation.
Yeah.
Every boxing association has a commissioner, you try, something just to give it a little bit of legitimacy.
Yeah. I mean,
could somebody at least come out and say, good God, Matt Hardy, you've had brass knuckles in your pockets every week for the last year. For God's sakes, I'm fining you if you do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, just come on.
Yeah. We got to have the boss that we all fucking hate. We got to have that guy,
Yeah, just, the authority figure. And sometimes I like it, you can work it that the authority figure is a fan favorite or a heel, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it takes. I'm glad he's here, though. I'm excited he's here, man.
So speaking, we get a very awkward little thing with the Dark Order and the Hangman.
Yeah.
And the Hangman, he's like, hey, Alex, I'm sorry I pushed you in the match. But I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, cool, Hangman. Well, who do you want to team with for your 6-man? And he's like, oh, sorry, guys. Gave it to Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
Over like a fart in church with the Dark Order guys. They awkwardly accept it.
Yeah.
So, are they getting sour? Are they going to turn on the old Hangman?
I mean, something's going on with Hangman. Okay, something. I was kind of poking fun at Hangman's ring attire on Sunday.
Oh, did we ever figure out what was going on with the vest? Because they did poke on the vest on
BTE.
On BT as well.
Well, that's where I was going. I'm like, huh? Because they just assumed it was the Young Bucks. And they're like, no, it's
Bucks colors.
Yeah, I'm like, oh. Okay, things are about to get really interesting and really weird in that part of the AEW universe. I couldn't be more excited.
I think this summer could be fantastical, man. I think with some of the stuff with getting Ring of Honor and, this summer is just going to be great, I think.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So we go with on to Wheeler, Yuta, and Pac. This is an interesting little match.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the face matches typically.
Yeah.
There's had a couple of good little spots. Alex Alvarez is like 100% into this new thing, and it is weird.
I mean, yeah, he's all in with it, man.
And Danhausen was just straight up out there with the best friends. Not even out from under the ring, just straight up out there.
Yeah.
But that was a wicked avalanche brain buster.
Yeah, it was.
Into the brutalizer for the finish there. Oof, what a match.
Yeah. It was fun. I'm like you though. I'm not big into the face versus face kind of thing. But it was good for what it was. I mean, yeah. Good match.
It chewed some time.
Yeah.
And then we go back with Adam Cole and the Bucks and the Red Dragon and Landon. Brandon. And of course there's a little awkwardness. And he says he was going to pick Red Dragon the whole time anyway.
Yeah, it sure sounded like he was getting ready to say the Bucks, but
they didn't want anything to do with it with Hangman.
Yeah.
It's again a little awkwardness building within the Elite, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Then we go to FTR.
Wow, I did not see that coming at all.
And Dax comes out and says, "Look, I know I want the championship, but we got business with you guys, with you Bucks and Red Dragon."
Mm-hmm.
And then Tully gets in Dax's face.
I got to tell you, man, I'm with Tully on this one.
And says, "No, you got to focus. Listen to me to be a champion."
That's right. I mean,
and I'm like, "Old man, get away from the microphone, crazy."
I mean, Tully is spot on 100%. It's about championships, FTR,
or nothing at all.
For me, they're my favorite tag team. I believe they're the best tag team in the world. That's very subjective.
I believe,
and I agree with Tully. They need to be about getting gold back around their waist. And now they're wanting to get into these personal vendettas. And for his trouble, what does Tully get?
Fired.
He's fired.
You're fired.
I mean, Cash was like, "Hey, you're right. This is about family, and you're not family." I'm like, "Oh, wow."
Pinnacles.
We went there.
Imploded tonight.
Pinnacle's not having a great night, man.
Factions basically kind of died tonight.
Yeah.
People were kind of worried about it might be Gang Wars 2.0 and factions are imploding. So speaking of another faction, AHFO has an emergency meeting in the ring.
Wow. Yeah.
And Andrade says apparently there's no confidence in Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy jumps the gun and says, "Fine, we'll have a vote."
Can I just say that private part that they were horrible with, they had their thumbs up for a really long time before they come on. Come on. And hey, crowd, Fort Myers, hello. This is where you come in. You were horrible. It's like
terrible.
Fort Myers, for the love of God. Everyone else watching knows exactly what this whole thing is for. Don't you know what this whole thing is for? Aren't you excited about that?
We're just trying to get there.
Please just help us bring it home.
Help us get there.
And they're like,
about to come out.
I know. And they're like, "Well, what is this meeting for?" They're probably like, "Oh, maybe I should go get popcorn. There's no action." Like, come on, for the love of God, man.
It's at the 8:00 hour.
Yeah.
Somehow you guys don't seem to understand that something's about to go on.
I didn't understand though. Do the Butcher and the Blade, did they not get a vote? I didn't understand.
No, they're not. They're not vote carriers.
They're
just straight
mercenaries.
mercenaries.
Oh, okay.
They're straight mercenaries. They've always just been straight mercenaries.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, the payoff was great. The
beatdown is hellacious, and then Sting and Darby come out, and they get beat down too, and then the music hits.
Yeah.
And Jeff Hardy, while his brother is getting his ass beat, Takes a few moments to do
kind of relish the crowd.
to do a little dancing.
I'm like,
Get a
bro,
little
your
dancing,
brother,
man.
your brother's getting
Before he
stomped
goes
out in the
before he
ring.
goes out and clears business in the ring.
Yeah, I love the spot toward the end where Darby is just kind of looking at Jeff Hardy like he's in shock, like, you know,
It's an idol.
Yeah.
You talk about that's 3 generations right there, dude.
Yes.
That's inspiration.
Yes.
The Hardy Boys have always said they got into wrestling. They love Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Sting, like Jeff Hardy's always said, I became a professional wrestler because I love Sting. I paint my face because I love Sting.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy's in the ring. Darby Allin's in the ring. 3rd generation. Became a wrestler because he loved Jeff Hardy and the Hardy Boys. Loves Sting.
And I'm like, that was a moment. And it was beautiful. Yeah. I loved it.
Awesome. Just awesome stuff. Just good.
So what happens now? So obviously
how did they get the license for that music?
I guess when you are that the benefit of being part of the TNT TBS family is you're part of the Time Warner,
right? But
Warner Brothers Music.
But I mean, Tony's been quite all right with spending dough for licensed music.
Yeah.
Clearly Orange Cassidy and with the Pixies song and all that stuff. But I always thought that was probably a Jim Johnston original, but WWE style. But I guess maybe it was just a licensed song, and who knows?
Yeah,
they could have just bought the license for it. Who knows?
Probably so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
awesome. The Hardy Boys are back.
Hardy Boys are back.
The Hart family office, I'm assuming, is dissolved. So I wonder if it will just be the Andrade family office.
The Andrade crew, whatever they're going to be called. Yeah. Whatever.
Just be the AFO, Andrade family office, right?
Yeah, there's much family about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Charlotte has voiced that she wants to do something on screen with Andrade. That's interesting. That's like she's bringing this up. It's like, are you talking about like a television show besides wrestling? Because clearly, you will never be in the same thing,
right?
I don't know what she's thinking.
I mean, it could be like they could have their own show, like What's Her Nuts on the ones on Raw. The stupid chick Carmella and whatever his name is.
Oh, Corey Graves.
Yeah,
they're horrible. They're bomb show.
Yeah,
that bombed terribly.
Yeah. So yeah. Who knows when she says on screen? I'm like, on screen. What?
I don't know what she means exactly.
What you talking about, Willis?
But we go to backstage, it was backstage with Swerve.
Yeah.
And Tony and Tony Schiavone, and talks about he's debuting on Rampage.
Yeah.
And then Tony Nese comes up and says, "What's up?" Clearly, you don't have a person, so we're gonna do it like we used to do it on Friday nights. 205 live.
I'm assuming that Rampage is not live on Friday.
No,
damn it,
not this week,
man. So it's gonna be the same people, same lousy ass.
Oh, terrible! And they're gonna be even worse because they're gonna be tired.
But Swerve and Tony Nese, that's gonna be
a good match.
Oh man, yeah.
Swerve's got game, it's I don't know if you don't like it or not, but he's definitely yeah, he's got a catchphrase already.
Yep.
So Wardlow comes out of the face tunnel.
Yeah,
and he gives an impassioned promo.
Yeah,
and I think I thought the process was clearly that Scorp would hold the title for a day or two and then he'll win it next week. But now I'm not thinking so, man. I'm thinking MJF is going to F him somehow.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. I was fully prepared for Wardlow to leave St. Patrick's Day as the next TNT champion. I have a pretty good feeling now, if it's not Wardlow, who the next TNT champion will be.
Oh, I think it's going to be Scorp for a while, man.
I think it could be for a while.
Bro, those graphics came out instantaneously, and they look good.
Oh, man.
That TNT title looks good on that man.
It does, man. And look, they have been. I like the way that they have been positioning Scorpio. Because there's some, I mean, his partner in crime is all ego. Okay, I think that we could be seeing a fracture. I just wonder what they. There's so many things they can do with Scorpio Sky right now. I think I'd like to see him get a little bit of a run before the belt gets lifted off of him.
I think he's going to get it.
Yeah.
But
Wardlow seemed to suggest
like
that
I said,
this whole MGF thing is not gonna. I don't want to spend any more time thinking about that guy.
Right.
So
but
we'll see.
You're gonna have to think about him, and you're gonna have to slay the beast eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
In warfare, Jerry, at some point in time, you have to engage the enemy's main body. Mm-hmm. And sooner or later, he's going to have to do combat with the MJF in the ring, and it has to count.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, the story will never end. So we go backstage, and Keith Lee and QT Marshall has once words with him, and he's like, we could be friends.
He's like, you've got a problem with Taz. I've got a problem with Taz.
I hate that kid. I trained that damn kid, and I hate him.
He's like, didn't he beat you? Well, that's all a part of the learning process.
I love it. That's so great. He's like, well, watch your back. He's like,
I got a big back.
A big back. It's like, well, I'm good. He's like, oh, you're gonna pay for that.
I love how that became a match. Like, now they've got beef. Instant.
Now they got beef. This QT Marshall is going to die at the hands of this man. Yeah. My God, that podcast with Jericho Keith Lee is insane. So good. He is so thoughtful, and what a guy.
Yeah.
His story is so interesting, and what an interesting path to where he is.
He's having one hell of a year in 2022. He got married a month ago? And things
winning
are
at life.
2022 has gotten off to a really great start for him, and I couldn't be happier.
I would say limitless.
Yes. Jerry. Yeah.
And he will wrestle QT next on Rampage.
I can't wait for him and Powerhouse Hobbs to get it on. That's what I'm looking forward to.
It's going to be the good one, isn't it?
Oh,
I'm sure we're going to see that. It's going to be soon. I feel like it's going to be soon.
Oh, 100%.
And like I said, I like the idea of Keith taking that FTW title from Ricky Starks. That might be
Ricky Starks.
Interesting. Stacks.
Yeah, Stacks
in the ring. Dino Express comes out. They're wrestling the Acclaimed, who are again the number one contenders.
Man.
And they actually have a pretty good match.
Yeah. The more I watch the Acclaimed, and particularly Bowens, the more they just grow on me.
They had so Caster did a concert over the weekend at Revolution. And,
he did?
It was a bunch of dudes show, like Ethan Page was there, and they did some stuff, and it was great. And there's some really funny. I highly recommend it. Bowens drops one of the funniest jokes I'll ever see. It's not appropriate for a family audience, but it is one of the funniest bits I've seen in a little while. I was dying. I highly recommend you watch it. Very good stuff. But this is a good match. And they ended up losing, unfortunately, when the Jungle Boys hit that modified Doomsday device.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of cool. I don't like his little wrist lock moves, but knuckle lock moves, but this is actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, yeah. I'm of course I've been calling, I'm ready for their run to end.
Ready for the Dino Boys to be done.
Man, please.
I'm in agreement.
But your boy Max Caster,
drops another hard rhyme. That was good stuff.
He showed your boy a little bit of love, saying, "Hey, Christian's the only one that could bring any kind of heat."
Yeah, I guess so. CC gets a little.
Got a little love. Yeah.
Can't see anything, but he hopes they're out there because he's old. So he's old. I would have much rather watched Ethan Page in that ladder match. I don't feel like Christian added anything to it.
No.
Besides his ability to build erector sets.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I felt he brought to that match.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just glad Ricky Starks is alive.
Dude.
After that power bomb onto that ladder. Oh, yeah, that was not nice. Yeah. So go to Thunderosa versus Leyla.
I didn't love this match, Jeff. I didn't love it. I thought it was sloppy.
I feel like Layla's working sloppy.
Yeah, I mean, look, Thunderosa to me is a master in the ring, and Layla's work just wasn't up to the level. And I understand why you didn't want to have Thunder and Chris Stat in this match.
Well,
but legit, Layla, you're on a great streak. You had a great win on Sunday. Come ready to work. Come on.
It's supposed to. She doesn't. When you say got to do the job, got to do the work, and you got to do the job, and put somebody over. It's like I clearly shouldn't like it ever.
Yeah.
And it kind of seemingly like it's like she seems to wrestle grumpy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I felt I don't want to say she mailed it in, but man, it certainly seemed like she mailed it in. You know how like in Jade's early run, I would come on and have lots of critique, but Jade has continued to do the work.
Well, she's got Daniels.
And she's getting better every single week. And I don't see Layla she hasn't put in the work the way Jade put in the work.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
I don't
don't mean to just pick on legit Layla Hirsch. I thought the champion looked sloppy on Sunday.
I thought she did in the warm-up match.
Yeah. And
they got a lot to live up to their match last, in this rematch.
Yeah, and this is why I want the part of the reason why I want Thunder to take the title off of Britt Baker is I think Britt Baker needs a break. I think she's deserved, and I think she's deserving some time
in the ring right now.
Yeah, she needs some time off, man. Like she has been going nonstop. She
tweets at like 7 a.m. Monday morning, like, woke up the champ. I'm back at work at the dental office.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, you need some time.
Yeah. I mean, I think she needs time away just to refresh. But yeah, the work in the ring has not looked great. So I hope on Wednesday in this cage match that she brings it. I need her to elevate.
We got a cage match.
Level. Yeah.
So
I mean, come on, Britt. Let's step it up.
They're both very, very capable, though.
Yeah.
And I really, really I think that they will hopefully be able to turn it on to 10 when it counts.
I have zero worries about Thunderosa. I'm not. Yeah, I have no concerns about her work. Yeah,
Dynamite.
Brooke and Britt, like, she brings it. I just need her to bring it, and I was disappointed that she didn't bring it at a pay-per-view the way she normally does, and so I'm like, what's going on here? And where was Mercedes Martinez?
Don't know. Prepping hard for a match with Jamie Hayter on
oh yeah,
later that night on Thunder.
Yeah.
Rampage for Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get DMD comes out and drops that not so great promo after Thunder wins.
Yeah.
I'm just we're both clearly ready for a change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think we're gonna get it too. So
yeah.
Go to the main event and Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky.
Wow.
This is clearly the tale of the 6:30 miss.
I got to tell you, and it was a miss, but man, Sammy brings it. It doesn't matter what the match is. He is going to bring it. He is going to put on a show. Tonight, I would classify their match as very theatrical.
Oh yeah,
it was a little over the top. Yeah,
it was a little bit on almost the cinematic side.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Ty coming out. Here's the thing, though. I don't.
Hey, it looked like he died.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he busted up a couple of ribs on that.
I think the landing was flat, and it looked pretty good. It looked about as safe as it could have gone. I think it did go.
Yeah.
But these two seem to be on vacation every week of their lives. I don't see what's going to be. I mean, he's probably going to take an extra week off here.
Yeah. Yeah. But clearly having her out there was to set up the whole Paige. Paige Van Zandt,
of course. And the top scene.
So those two can do their karate shit, as Jade would say.
Yes.
I love that she signed the contract
on her butt. That was so good. But I will say this, man. Scorpio just is so technically good.
Yes.
And so technically sound. He makes every maneuver look good.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, there was a little bit of overwhelming numbers that contributed to the defeat here. Before Scorpio nails him with the TKO,
right?
Which Sammy sold so well.
Yes.
But he just looks so good. And like I said, as soon as they put the belt on, it looks amazing.
I mean, I agree with you, Jeff. He is just so proficient in the ring. Everything is tight. There's no wasted motion.
The only thing that would have made the moment even better was they had the camera guy in the ring right there as they were going off air.
Yeah.
Is if like he looked at the camera and did that, his snap as they went off the air. That would have been priceless.
That would have been awesome.
Priceless.
Yeah. So are we both in agreement that we now no longer believe that he is a stopgap champion?
I kind of feel like I think that he will, of course, probably take a number of power bombs. He'll feel the wrath of the symphony, but I think that MJF is going to cost Wardlow this match.
Oh, 100%.
I don't see it going any other way. I think Scorpio's going to get a run.
Or the other way is Wardlow wins, but like as he pointed out tonight, he is still under contract with with MJF, does MJF then take the title because he is under the employ of MJF?
Yeah. But of course, if he wins the TNT title as an unsigned person, you automatically get a contract. It's always like then a purview of the TNT title.
Right. Yeah.
That's why the unsigned people can challenge for it. But like I said, I think that, I don't know. What kind of boss is Tony Khan that he's all right with like MJF having this slavery contract over a man? I mean, it's one of those kind of kayfabe things that's kind of like, oh man, that's
and you can't give me a black champion and for a week.
A week?
Yeah.
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me, Tony.
Don't.
Scorpio Sky is a hell of a wrestler, and it's time to elevate him.
Best dressed man on TV.
Yeah. Man,
so spectacular wrestling. Amazing promo skills.
So America Top Team has a champion in AEW now.
Champion. Yeah. I love it. Ego was like crying. There's a spot. I don't know if it's like faking or not, but he's like in tears, like just loving it.
Yeah.
So we need to talk anything about the mothership tonight.
I tried to watch a little bit on Monday.
You didn't hear about Stone Cold's promo?
It's been 19 years. You know,
mouth son of a bitch, Kevin Owens.
So is he going to wrestle Kevin Owens at WrestleMania?
No.
Is Kevin Owens just going to do a spot at WrestleMania?
Like they're going to do like a KO show or whatever, and I guess he'll come out and whip his ass.
And he'll give him a stunner. And
apparently, according to somebody who talked to Jim Ross about it, so how that story goes,
right.
But I guess Stone Cold is like super frustrated with whatever it is they want him to do. And
I'm sure. Vince is calling in all kinds of favors, right?
Dude, you know they've only sold 55,000 tickets per night, right?
Wow, because Jerry Dome holds about 100.
Supposedly. A sellout's really like 83.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big commitment, right? 2 nights is a big commitment. You're asking people they're double the hotel cost, double the ticket costs. That's a big ask. That's a huge big ask.
How much money you're going to spend at the thing? I mean, it's a bladder buster night. I mean, it's a night. You're going to get hungry. You're going to need to, it's like, you're going to have to spend money there.
You're going to have to spend money there.
It's going to be horrifically expensive.
Here's the problem that the mothership has is they have, if you count NXT, what do they have? 7 hours of content, televised content a week, but they don't have enough. You don't have enough talent. You didn't have enough talent to fill one night of WrestleMania. Now you've got to fill 2 nights. That's why you're calling on you're counting on Steve Austin and say, hey Steve, can you come out and do this thing for us? You've got Pat McAfee in a stupid match with Austin Theory.
Look at your matches. Look at what's booked for WrestleMania. Vince, McAfee in some sort of match.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Jackass guy. What's his name? Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah.
In one match.
Uh-huh.
You got Ronda Rousey, who's kind of an attraction.
Yeah.
Type person. You got they're wheeling out Stone Cold in some sort of way.
Yeah.
It's all There's nothing left, man.
Now, word on the street is that
Dollar Bill, gonna roll Dollar Bill back out too for one.
Who can? Is there somebody's career that
you need to end?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're going to give us Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss against, Drew McIntyre or whatever.
That's right. Baron Corbin.
You've got Finn Balor is now the U.S. champion. You'll get him against whoever the guy he just took the belt off.
Damian Priest.
I mean, you're going to
get now a bad guy for absolutely no reason.
No reason. Now, there is a match I would like to see. I would love to see Edge and AJ Styles. I think that could be a really good match.
Why did you turn Edge heel?
Yeah, I don't know.
AJ is a heel,
right? Just because I think Vince has the wheel. He's got like and he's just spinning the wheel, and he's like, all right, what are we gonna do this week? I've heard the rumor that Seth Rollins and Cody maybe be at WrestleMania.
Could be.
I'd watch that.
I mean, I've heard that they have they have creative contingencies planned for Cody's arrival. Like that's a thing. They're ready.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I don't.
Apparently, he's just he's sitting back and debating his offers.
I mean, so he hasn't signed anything yet.
No.
And are we officially out? I'm sorry. Is AEW officially out? Is there no conversations at all that Tony is having with Cody and his people?
That's not disclosed. They could be.
It sounds to me that he is not chomping at the bit to go back to the mothership. And I don't blame him.
I mean, would you want to? I mean, look
hell
what
no.
they're doing. Look what they're doing.
I think he, I don't know. I want him to be successful. I want him to be happy wherever he's at. He's earned the right to
look at what they just did with what they're trying to put over as this is a future star with Braun Breaker.
What did they do? What happened?
All right, so he gets called up.
Yep.
Amazing match on the roster. On the Monday Night Raw. Okay,
yeah.
NXT triple threat match with Ciampa
and Dolph.
Dolph pins Ciampa. Breaker loses.
Wow.
So your obsession with. I mean, their obsession with not how do you build these future stars is well, you let somebody else. If Braun Breaker is supposed to be such a badass of NXT, well, shouldn't the next badass of NXT pin him?
Yeah,
but there isn't one, I guess. So now your face of NXT is a 40-something-year-old Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Boy, what are you doing, man?
If I'm Cody, I don't go that. I just
shambles.
Don't do it. I mean, I
think I'd have called the first thing you heard Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. I would have called him and said, "Oh my God, do you need some money to run Ring of Honor?"
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to work for these guys.
I feel like the doors are going to always be open to Cody.
I feel like it too. I mean, and clearly Warner Media loves him.
I hope he doesn't sign with W. I mean, I want him to be happy. I want him to secure as much money as he can. I want that for every wrestler. But man, I hope he decides to come back. And I hope Tony would, but he's going to have to come down on his ask. I mean, we can't, we can't pay him.
There's a limit.
What he thinks he's worth, right?
Everybody has their limits. TK does. I mean, the pocketbook is not endless, but apparently it is. Just like Jeff Hardy, of course, that can't be cheap.
No.
But who knows how long this run will be? I mean, I think this is kind of a dream run for them.
I mean, so what does this do for the tag team picture right now in AEW? Now you've got the Hardy Boys.
I mean, look, it's like tag team Palooza, Mox Danielson, the Hardy Boys, Sting Darby. I mean, do they technically count?
I think they count. You got the Bucks. You've got Red Dragon.
Acclaimed, Jungle Dinosaurs,
FTR.
FTR. I mean,
yeah.
And then Lucha Boys brothers when Lucha Brothers are back. It's a lot of tag teams.
Oh, we got the Martin brothers, you know.
Top Flights.
Man.
Bear
Country. Private Party. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Some of you guys are headed to Ring of Honor.
Yeah. And so because that's the thing, because Ring of Honor then could have all of their, obviously they have all their own belts.
Scheduled for a television taping, I think April 21st.
Oh wow. So the title holders that they had will continue to be the champions, right?
Gresham is, as far as I know, Gresham is still under contract in some way.
Okay.
Company. There's a couple of people whose contracts are still ongoing. The rest, I think, are done. But they still have belts, as far as I know. Okay. Who knows?
Wow.
Also, in New Japan news, after that match with after Regal slapped Moxley down and Danielson, a certain Will Ospreay tweeted out that Moxley's a bitch.
Ooh.
Will Ospreay and Moxley will both be at the Windy City Riot April 16th in Chicago. I'm thinking we're going to get Ospreay Moxley.
Ooh. And
if this opens the old Forbidden Doorski, that means we might see a United Empire invasion of AEW.
Oh,
which if we get Ospreay Danielson out of that, my lord!
I'm telling you, I feel like things are about to get really weird, and like in the best possible.
This Bullet Club thing is heating up to max boiling. So I feel like if Tony Khan is not an idiot,
right?
If he sees that there is money between Impact and New Japan doing the Bullet Club, giving the Bullet Club this full civil war that people kind of dreamed of, they need to let the AEW guys in on it too.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the best. I mean, if we got Kenny, Bucks, Hangman, Adam Cole, that war with the Switchblade, Good Brothers. I mean, all these guys. Get the Gorillas of Destiny's, Tama Tonga, all these dudes. Get them all involved.
I mean, you called it.
And then the only thing that'd be better is if Finn Balor actually could come back.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. I mean, you called it, and you're like, hey, the Jay White universe opens up so many doors.
Oh yeah, man.
So many possibilities.
Strictly business, mate.
So I'm curious to know, like, in order for AEW to truly capitalize on, we're going to need more than 3 hours of televised content.
Well,
Rampage is going to have to, something's going to have to give here.
Well, hilariously, somebody at the scrum was like, well, Tony, you bought Ring of Honor. We're like, did you actually just buy Sinclair Broadcasting? and he was like, and he basically was like, no comment. I mean,
right?
I highly doubt that Warner Media would let it buy a television company. But I mean, I'm thinking you're probably gonna. He has stated he wants Ring of Honor to have programming and content and creation of new content.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, there's going to need to be somewhere for all these wrestlers to go work.
Yeah.
Can't all work in AEW.
No.
I think that Ring of Honor will clearly kind of be, I think, a minor league.
Yeah.
A developmental league.
Mm.
The thing is, and you can cross match them.
So do you think then would there still be the need for Dark and Dark Elevation?
Maybe not. Maybe they would change.
Yeah. There's so many different things they can do. There's so many different.
Skies would be like almost beyond the limit.
And Regal will help them figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Oh yes, big time.
Man,
what a time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. What a time to be a wrestling fan.
Yes, indeed.
All righty, my friend. Well, thank you all for joining us on this episode of the Mark for Life Wrestling Podcast. We hope to see you again soon, maybe after Rampage.
Yeah.
Follow us on the old Twitters down there. And we will catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Mark for Life.